Come on. GM. I have not Adrienne joining me today in the co-host seat. For those who are unfamiliar with that lore, Tony has filled in before, but we generally just call him not Adrienne.eth. So, which he owns that particular ENS because Adrienne bought it for him.
I have a confession to make. I don't think I renewed the ENS. I think it might have expired. So someone else has taken on the mantle of not Adrienne, or maybe it's still available.
Maybe not. It might be available if somebody wants to pick it up. Yeah. So excited to have you here. And I love that hat. I want that hat and need that hat. Just letting you know.
Shout out Minted merch. These are some hot samples. Will be available soon.
I'm hoping to get my hands on it very soon so that in these moments I can wear it. So I went with the Toad. Nice. As a substitute, and
that's an acceptable
I was like,
substitute.
and which of Toadie's merch am I going to wear? So I went with the Farcon Arch with the Gator. There we go.
This is why they call you the hostess with the mostest. Now I understand.
I do what I can. I would wear this.
I brought this. Just, so if we're having a swag off,
it's too much. I just can't. So.
That's a very limited edition. I don't think very many people have that hat. So.
I love it, but it's more of a, souvenir.
My favorite story about making those hats and hoodies, that was a very limited run of Yellow Collective merch that we did early on in the collective. And I brought one must have been Denver, I guess. I brought one to Jesse and I was like, here you go, here's your swag bag.
That's right.
And then like the next day he brought me aside. He's like, Tony, I just have to tell you, yellow is just not my color. I can't wear it, but I love it. I'll wear it at home. I just can't wear it out.
Like, that's how I feel about
yellow.
That hat.
It is very yellow.
Very yellow. Very, very yellow. All right. We are going to get rolling. So let's get into it. I'm going to start with our little intro. I'm going to retweet things, let people know we're live, and we'll be back in just 40 seconds. Welcome to GM Farcaster, bringing you everything from breaking news to spicy memes to the deep lore shaping this vibrant digital community. More than just a show, GM Farcaster is your digital third space where the community connects, the stories unfold, and the culture thrives. Whether you're a daily caster or just dropping by, we've got the latest buzz to keep you plugged in. So grab your coffee and let's dive in with your hosts, Nanish Prof and Adrienne, for another episode of GM Farcaster. GM Farcaster. It is a Friday, September 12th, and you're here with Nanish Prof and Tony Hawk filling in for Adrienne. Okay.
Was that a convincing Adrienne or no?
That was a really convincing Adrienne. That was just way too funny. I have one last retweet to do.
While you're doing that, I'll apologize for making us late. Yesterday I had a stream with Dish. I think you saw it.
It was so good.
It was fun. But I have a really great camera. It's called the Insta360. Link to shout out. It's a great camera, pretty cheap too. But it comes with, for some reason, the flimsiest tripod known to man. It's an amazing camera, flimsy tripod. And the great thing is it has like stabilization. So like if I move over here or over here, it kind of follows.
It comes with you. Oh, that's right. Okay. Yeah.
And it stabilizes me too. But yesterday during the stream, for some reason at that moment, the tripod just started to like go like this. So throughout the stream, if you watch the stream, my background slowly goes like this, but I stay because it's got stabilization. So it's like I'm there, and people probably thought that we're going crazy because my background was slowly like slipping into the void during the stream.
At the very end, you looked like you were a little crooked, but it was at the very end when it was just you and nothing else on the screen is when I noticed it. I was like, well,
anyway, I forgot to fix it. And then I jumped onto the stream. And I was like, shit, I have to fix that. So that's why I was late. But anyway.
That was a great chat. That was a great chat with Dish. Really enjoyed it. It was great to hear him being interviewed by somebody else. So it was good. And I loved kind of hearing the way he's supporting the builders who are building on Clanker. I just really appreciate. So it's great to hear him.
Hanging out with him. I'm heading
you're going boating.
I don't know about that. I don't know if I'm going to make it in time for the boating excursion. It doesn't sound like, but I'm definitely going to be driving from Boston to Vermont with Dish and Q and Flood, I think maybe is with us, and Grin. So it's going to be a fun little Bostonian caravan plus one wayward Canadian.
One way. That was crazy, by the way, that you're going all the way to Boston and then driving back.
That's
Vermont. But I understand.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit going on. So land borders, not so fun to go across right now.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that, and I'm like, oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That's probably a good move. All right, let's dive in. If you are watching over on Twitter, give us a retweet. If you are watching on Farcaster, give us a share. If you're watching in the mini app, just share in the mini app. And I'll be tipping all those things when I see them, except the Twitter stuff because I can't. But in the other places.
Yeah, when tipping, Elon.
When tipping, Elon, come on.
I mean, you can do stuff with Banker. You can send.
That's true.
Send people Banker in the feed. That's kind of like
that's a good point. I could do something like that. All right, we're going to dive into the breaking news. Before I do that, like the thing that has been trending the most on Farcaster has been the sad political violence around Charlie Kirk. So I just want to touch on that, but we don't usually talk about sort of political news and that kind of thing and don't get into it. But I just wanted to sort of acknowledge that was just an awful thing to see and experience and feel awful.
Also, especially if you didn't want to see it. Like I was one of the unfortunate people who unfortunately saw it against my will on Twitter, and it didn't feel very good. So
no, it didn't. And I feel like, so it was just awful. I feel incredibly horrible for his children and all of that. It's just an awful situation. So just wanted to acknowledge that, but we won't dive too much into that just because that's normally not what we do. So I just wanted to kind of acknowledge before I jump into things that might seem less important. Like I am aware of the important things happening in the world, just FYI. But there's plenty of people talking about that who have a lot more expertise in the areas. So, okay, moving on to this. This is from Yasik this morning. Security update. Recently, attackers gained access to a personal device and compromised certain DGen hot wallets previously used for smart contract deployments. Here's everything you need to know. Before major harm could occur, we secured and transferred ownership of all deployed contracts, including the DGen airdrop, layer 0 contracts, and other critical deployments. Unfortunately, the attackers were able to steal roughly $300K worth of locked Arrow and $200K of our Solana DGen pool. What's secure? Our treasury, the most critical piece, all deployment wallets migrated to new infrastructure, and our social accounts. Step we've taken. Since then, we've moved all operational funds and deployments to hardware wallets, brought in top security experts to reinforce every layer, and tightened protections across devices, emails, and infrastructure. Community impact. For the community, nothing changes. DGens can continue using products as usual. Your holdings are safe and the ecosystem remains intact. One important note, any posts, emails, or messages that appeared between 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. Poland time, I have no idea what time that is, yesterday, did not originate from our team. We want to be clear that communications during that window should not be trusted. Please stay extra cautious of phishing and fake accounts in the coming days. This is a tough moment, but far from the end of the world. We're committed to learning from this, closing every gap, and continuing to build a stronger, more secure future for the DGen community. The hat stays on. So, and then he goes on to say he'll be hosting an X Space later today to connect with the community and share updates. So look for that.
Prof, this is one of those fabled, they call them bullish hacks. DGen up 5% on the day.
I know. I was looking for that. I was like, oh, I was going to go look and I'm like, oh, it's probably crashed to the ground and is dead. And I'm like, oh, it's up. Okay. That's
well, they didn't get away with much, I guess. So I guess in the grand scheme of things, of the millions of dollars of assets that DGen has as a property, they got away pretty scot-free.
Yeah.
But still a wake-up call for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And also be careful when you see something communicated by a team that doesn't seem right. And those happen periodically when situations come up. And just if something feels like that seems weird, That doesn't seem like something Jacek would say, or something like that, or some like amazing thing that all of a sudden pops up that you have to get in on immediately.
Yeah, like if Jacek uses Eastern Standard Time, you know it's a hack.
You know it's a hack.
Poland time or bust.
Exactly. Like, I don't even know what time that was. But just be careful out there. So sorry to see this, and glad it was contained quickly. All right, moving on. This from our friend Dillstack, taking notes on this thread from today's bi-weekly Farcaster dev call. Dillstack Dylan used to do this all the time, and this is the first time
he got a job.
He got a job, and then like I know stopped like giving us free work. It's annoying. I know him and that like whole base job thing, like real work, amazing. Rude, so rude. So he did give a really good thread here of all the things that were talked about, some protocol updates proposed for app-based storage. Timeline is October. FIP for profile tokens. FC app does something similar as a feature, but this will push to the protocol. So that's interesting. Fast.
That means we can finally see which token has the most people with it in with the most people with the token in their profile.
Yeah.
And why it's Betterment.
And why it's Betterment, exactly. You'll be able to search this on on Dune or something. Fast replication for running Snapchain nodes. Mini app updates, new experimental sign manifest, which we talked about the other day, enables people to create apps, app builders like VO, Lovable, etc., to sign a mini app manifest for a user. And then finally, Farcaster app updates, design, giving the app a new coat of paint, wallet, shipping discovery features, onboarding fixed a lot of issues causing failure, will continue to improve, rewards, working on a new reward system to incentivize bringing people, so I'm assuming invites, growth, spending a lot of time cycles on reactivating and bringing in new users. So that was the update from the call yesterday. Thank you, Dylan. Some like, nice. nothing super sexy, but all good stuff. All good things. Especially when they move stuff to the protocol level that people want. That's always a good thing.
I feel like that meme with the guy. I don't know what movie it's even from, but the one who's like, yeah, I understand some of those words. You know that meme?
I get that one. Yeah, that's a word that looks familiar. Oh, that's me all the time when I'm doing the dev stuff, and it really helps when Adrienne's here, so that like she can explain the words I'm reading. And I've done that a few times where I'm like, I'm reading words and I have no idea what they mean. And so I'm going to turn this over to you now.
Ostensibly English.
You can explain everything I just said. Sign manifest being one of those things, which I now understand after I tried to create an app. That is the good thing when you try to create an app, even if it doesn't work out, it's at least like you learn something in the process. I guess
you could say you manifested that for yourself.
I manifested that. I actually learned that there's a whole dev section of Farcaster that I was unaware of.
There sure is.
Yeah. I had no idea. I was like, oh, look at that.
With blackjack and strippers. No.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. They're hiding it. This from DWR. Favorite crypto analyst accounts on X, Twitter? ? People who post in-depth analysis and takes on given crypto projects, themes, etc. For example, someone who is posting an X thread or article on the bull case for ETH, Sol, Hype, Creator Coins, prediction markets. So I guess he's looking for people to onboard. So there you go. Or talk to about why they haven't onboarded. So if you have favorite,
maybe I wonder if this could be related to the new feature that you're probably going to talk about later. Maybe he could be looking for. It looks like it's AI generated, but maybe they're planning to pull in like token mentions or something from analysts.
Maybe it could be. It could be that. It could be he's just looking for feedback as to why some of these folks haven't moved over to Farcaster. Sometimes that's what he's doing as well, to get a handle on how do we get them over here is possible. So if you have accounts you want to suggest, go drop into this thread. Let them know. And this is the questions part of the show. This from Linda. If you're actively involved in Telegram groups for crypto trading, would love to hear what features you like most about Telegram for this and what annoys you. Feel free to DM me if easier. So you can drop into this thread or you can DC Linda if you'd like. This is when you can kind of tell what they're building or what they're trying to do by the questions they ask sometimes. So this is obviously trying to improve chat. So we'll see what they come up with.
I feel like I would trade in a chat on Farcaster, and I have tried it a little bit too with TBA and Banker.
Yeah.
And yet I hate trading on Telegram. I don't know. I just can't get around it for some reason.
I don't like Telegram, and I can't explain why, because it has a lot of great features and I get it. And I just, for some reason, it's just it's the last messaging thing I want to use.
Well, some of us have PTSD from 2021 when there was a lot of scams happening on Telegram. Because one thing I find Telegram doesn't do very well is like any kind of curation, reporting of scams. And so like there's one guy who's got the same name as me on Telegram with an extra K. So like Tony Hawk. Not sure the pronunciation, and he's trying to scam people all the time, and they're always messaging me. And I've reported it like 6 times, and no one gives a fuck. So it's like, sorry, am I allowed to say that on this family show?
Yes, you can. You can say this on this family show. Yes.
Nobody cares, and so I feel like that's what like kind of pisses some people off. It's like if you've been there long enough, you're like, okay, come on, like do something to stop these scammers or slow them down. That's
I just there's something about it. The only thing I use it for, honestly, right now is Zach XBT. Because he has and he just uses it as like an announcement thing. It's not even a chat thing, but that's the only thing that I'm really looking at, or the only thing I have notifications on for.
I'm in a few chats over there against my will, but
I used to be. I still am probably in some. I just never look at them. How about that?
Someone's gonna meme this, and they're gonna be like, "Old man and woman yells at Telegram
yell
cloud."
Yell at Telegram cloud. Coming up. This is from V. Again, I told you this is the question section. What are your biggest feature requests or annoyances with the wallet? So if you have suggestions for the wallet, there's a few things here from JC. Needs buy sell history for every token. Yes. I would like that very much.
I love that too. By the way, Rainbow only implemented that recently. It's so nice. Like I can't remember how much I paid for this token, and I'm talking like yesterday. I'm not talking about like 6 months ago. I want to know. What did I buy yesterday?
I just want to click on the token and just see all my transactions for that token. I definitely, I agree with that one. Way too difficult to find tokens when swapping. Activity never shows all my transactions. Constantly find myself needing to check base scan. So those are good. If you have other suggestions, drop them in for V. I agree with those, JC.
It's interesting that V asked for an example of 3 because like that is a very common like my response would almost be like, just go check anyone's activity tab. It's probably missing activity. Like that's the one weak point I think at the moment.
I think the wallet is so good. I can't believe 100%. How fast the swaps are. Swaps are insane, like really fast. And also I was going through and onboarding my students. So I was sending them some funds, and I did have to do that with one student directly. I was doing it mostly as a batch. And she was even surprised. She's like, wow, that was fast. I'm like, I know. Sometimes I don't even think it went, and it did.
Prof was like, back in my day,
you had to
on Ethereum mainnet, we had to do
exactly. Ethereum mainnet and only MetaMask. It was the only thing I was letting them use. So that
cost me $20 to send you $2. It was very efficient.
Exactly.
I've been singing the praises of Warplet a lot recently on the feed here on Farcaster and over on X as well. I'm really impressed with the product. They've been iterating super fast. You can tell that they've obviously decided to really like double click and like zoom in on this as a potential growth opportunity.
Absolutely.
It's pretty cool. Like you can see how like I love apps like Interface and some of these like people who've been pioneers in the space, but you can see how like OP it is when you already own the social graph to just like include these types of features. I made a post yesterday about how easy it is to send crypto to someone if you know their Farcaster account, and how like they've kind of accomplished something that ENS didn't really manage to do at the broad enough scale. And where like a few times in the past week, I've had, I need to send this person crypto. I'm not exactly sure which is their main wallet, but who cares? Send it to them on Warpcast, and if they're active, send it to them on Facebook rather. And if they okay,
Facebook.
See you later.
Farcaster, is that the word you're looking
for? There we go. I don't even go on Facebook now. I'm gonna get memed for sure. Anyways, send it to the Warplet, and it's gonna get where it's supposed to go. Is my point.
Exactly. Yeah. It's so much easier. Same kind of thing. So with my students, like having them sign up and being able to just go to their account, make sure I'm following them, blah, 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 and then send the money right from there. So it was super easy. And I had to do the same thing. Yesterday, I was sending someone some funds for commission for something we're going to do with Extra. And I just sent it to their wallet, I just sent it to their account on Farcaster, and they were like, "Wait, I forgot I had a wallet on here." I'm like, "Yeah, just use that." So yeah, it makes it so easy to find people.
For sure.
So appreciate that. We appreciate the Warplet. We do love it. All right, moving on. Just ignore it or hide it. Okay, so if you have a weird token that comes in and then all of a sudden you have like $1,000 extra in your Warplet that you didn't expect, it's probably a scam.
Wait, what? But I already spent that.
No, you're surprised. You won't be able to swap it. There is no liquidity. So your advice from Horsefacts here, just ignore it or hide it. You can hide now in the Warplet. It should disappear shortly. Scam tokens are like junk mail, but they can't drain your wallet. Don't visit the website in the name. Don't send it, swap it, or burn it. Just hide it and move on, and it will be removed. And that happened the other day with another token popping up. So be careful out there.
I like to look up the source that sent it to me, and then create my own scam token and send it back to them.
It's a lot of work just to troll somebody, but okay. This from Garrett, SEC Chair Paul Atkins. We must admit that crypto's time has come. Highlights from a speech will ensure capital can be raised on chain. That's a big one. Most crypto assets.
Who's going to tell them?
I know. Most crypto assets are not securities. Plan for a single regulatory framework to allow for super app trading platforms.
Sounds familiar.
Yes, it does sound familiar. That to me rings of I've been talking to Robinhood.
Oh, really? Yeah, right. I guess I was thinking of the base app, but I guess both apply.
No, both apply, but I have a feeling that he is probably more tuned in to traditional finance rather than actual crypto as much. I think that's fairly new to him.
Maybe, but I do think Coinbase.
I know he's friendly. He's friendly to it. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
He's friendly to it and open to it and sees the future. But I think a lot of the view right now is seeing the future through the lens of the larger institutions that already exist. So, but we'll see. But good news all around. You can take a look at this link. It'll be in our show notes and watch the video and learn more about what he had to say. But it is good news. This from, what are you doing? This from Adam, and I'm just going to summarize this real quick because something I did not know that you can do is actually ask about specific tokens to Ask Gina, and it will give you an analysis of the token. So this will help. So this was in response to talking about what I was teaching with my students in tokenomics. And he said, if you're teaching people about tokenomics, then it's equally important to understand how to hedge against risks before engaging and what tools you have at your disposal to help out. If you're new to this space, you're probably not going to know what to look for to avoid being rugged, but having LLMs at your disposal radically changes that. One of my favorite use cases for Gina, AskGina.eth, is to do a token analysis so I know what red flags I need to navigate. So I think this is pretty helpful. I hadn't thought about using Ask Gina in that way. So
I don't know how helpful it is for Launchpad tokens. Like, I'm curious to see what it says about Extra, for example. It'll be like, this is a clanker, and the liquidity is the same as every other clanker. Have a good day.
Have a good day. But it would be very useful for ones that maybe aren't and can give us a little bit more insight. So very cool. This from Caro. I learned something new yesterday. She's a model and was modeling at the Victoria's Secret show. So this was the rundown of the VSX show. It was a full day event. We kicked things off with a run and refreshments before stepping on stage to model the new drop and collections.
If I had to do a run in the morning, I wouldn't be in underwear like on a runway for a few hours for sure.
I know.
I'd
She's
still
just
be
like
sweating.
running. She's running. What I love most about modeling is sports. In sports is the team attitude between the colleagues, such a supportive community and always fun. And the reason I'm showing you this too was this New York Fashion Week is here, and we kicked it off with the Victoria's Secret Sports Show, onboarded a few models to Farcaster, and Ambruga was so exciting. So
wait, do they mean like AI models or like real people?
Like fashion models, like Victoria's Secret models, which I think is just crazy.
No, nobody tell King.
I know, right? This is like
King. If you're watching this and you saw this, you didn't.
The moment he's been waiting for. So I thought that was really cool that she's out there working Fashion Week and also inviting people to Farcaster. So amazing. Thank you. And this was really cute. I like this. So this was Odd Job. Several people helped me pay for awards to motivate my students yesterday, which he was quote casting. Several people, this is from Jackie, several people helped me stop crying today. And she was quote casting Nana. Apparently several people found me funny yesterday. So I don't know what happened to you yesterday, but there were some good things happening on the timeline. And I love seeing that. So that makes me happy. Hold on one second while I bring up the next group of links. So I'm using NetNose has been working with me in the background and giving me suggestions on how to not crash my computer with all my links. And I appreciated him tremendously in doing so.
That's the reason why NetNose hasn't gotten anything no, I'm just kidding.
Sorry. Yeah. I've been taking him away. He's been busy in my DMs going, no, not like that. And like, that's not what I meant.
That's basically every conversation I have with NetNose. Totally
not like that. Not like that.
We've talked about this.
Yeah, so funny. Anyway, okay. Now some base news. Just a couple things from base. This is from AfroChicks. By the way, I am now a base UK ambassador. Excited to announce AfroChicks as our next Base UK ambassador, an all-star professional athlete turned crypto content creator, 11-time national triple jump champion, and NFT project founder. It's those stories that have us incredibly excited about bringing the UK on chain. So that's awesome. That was really cool to see. And
that is cool. Congrats to Naomi.
I think she's coming to Vermont. So I think we're going to see her at base camp. So
she might as well just move. They might as well just move to North America at this point.
I know. But then she's
the UK.
That would defeat the purpose of the UK ambassador. Tony.
Well, the good thing is she'll have base diplomatic immunity if she comes over here now. So
okay,
as a UK
is
ambassador,
that a thing?
It is now. Yeah,
it's an official network state now that allows for diplomatic immunity. Amazing.
Yeah, it just means you can rug people and they can't prosecute you. No,
this is from Oxford. We forgot to tell you, trading on base, no gas equals no gas fees. We pay the
base
bill.
app. On base app.
Sorry, on base app. No gas fees. We pay the bill. You just send it for base chain only. Nice. Yeah. Sorry, forgot that part. Base app. I was reading too quickly. Let me. I keep forgetting to check the comments. By the way. Oh, I missed this one. Let me put it up here. Tony,
what's up? I never know how to say his name. XPPAI. Anyway, he's an awesome member of our community.
He's
shout out XP. I'm gonna call him XP.
And this, I noticed this from Cardno earlier. I'm wearing the same cap as Prof right now. Nice to see the old crew, and we're glad.
Cardno, I'm disappointed that you're not wearing the same cap as me. I know. I thought we were friends.
Nobody has that cap yet, so it's kind of not his fault. Literally, like 2 people own it.
Actually, nobody, because mine's different than Burr's, so these are one of ones.
I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but I noticed something yesterday, and hopefully you can see it in the picture. Did you see what happened with the heart? Watch carefully.
With the what?
Let's see if it goes with the heart. It does this little flashy thing on the base app, and it's just really cute. It was just a nice little touch, and when you click on the heart, it does this little flash.
Fireworky thing.
Little fireworky thing, and it's just cute. So just noticed it yesterday and thought I would share if anyone else has not noticed that yet. So,
I love that.
Nice little touch.
Probably like replied. They probably did like a long thread of all of the technical improvements on base app, and then Prof replied and was like, "I like this heart flashy.
I like this heart thing. It's really cute." They're like, we integrated blubbity blubbity blah. I'm like, yeah, but the heart.
Yeah, we'll put the flashy heart.
Accurate. It's accurate. This from front end. Next week, new week, new rewards. Jeez. The tip-in and reply collaboration has been a huge success, and we're kicking off week 2 with even more energy. I'm incredibly hyped to announce that the tip-in team has generally offered to add a significant bonus to this week's allocation pool to show our commitment to this partnership and to rewarding this amazing community. I've matched their contribution from the reply treasury. This means that on top of the regular rewards, we're adding a bonus pool of 0.5% of the total reply supply for this week's allocators. So there you go.
That's a 50% bump up from what they had in there before. So
yeah, it's great. Mine doubled. So that's fantastic. I have lots to give away. So I'll be
interesting math. 50% bump up, and Prof's like, mine doubled.
Mine doubled. It did.
That just means that you were such a good engager last week that you got more allocation, I guess, this week.
I don't know what happened, but I have like a double amount that I did last week. So that was
beautiful.
Cool. So very cool. This we've had a couple launches this week. This is from, and let me just very clearly say, again, just my regular disclaimer, cryptocurrency is volatile, DYOR, NFA, et cetera. Okay, before we move into this part. So this was from the from TikTok team, repost TikTok, have fun, earn money. Join the hunt and don't forget to call your friends. Top inviters will hunt first, eat most. So this is launching on Monday. It will be that you'll be reposting TikToks on Farcaster and being able to earn on that in the likes.fun app. We're weaponizing degen speculation to pay creators more than TikTok ever did. Likes.fun is live. Join the TikTok hunt now. Mini app link below. So Likes, the token that goes along with this, launched yesterday, I think, or the day before. So that's what this is connected with. And I know that
I had a call.
I was going to say, you had a call with the team.
Yarrow, yeah.
So tell us what's going on there.
Yeah, I had a call with Yarrow because I could see some obvious overlaps with what we're doing with Betterment and wanted to see if there was any way to collab. And it was a really great call. I was super bullish leaving that call. He's thought about this a lot. Obviously, he's been planning it for a while and building it. And I think one of the assumptions I had originally is that people would just be posting links to the TikToks, and I wasn't sure, how viral, like the viral potential of that on the Farcaster feed. But I found out yesterday that the way they're building it is that hunters will post a link, so it's easy on the hunting side. You just find a link that you like, and if you would share it with your significant other or your friends, you post it from TikTok as in their mini app as a hunt, and then they actually download it from the client side. So they download the video from the client side and re-upload it onto Farcaster as sort of a native video. So I think that'll be a lot better for discovery. I think it's going to be interesting, and they may get some pushback from people saying, "Oh, you're stealing content and whatnot." But the reality is like this exact thing happens already with Reels and TikToks on a large scale. Like there's some big accounts like Farcaster and some of these that basically have made a living stealing content and giving sometimes no attribution and usually no money to the people they steal it from. So in a way, it's kind of like giving a new audience to these creators. And the one piece they'll need to figure out is like how to incentivize the creators to come and understand that they've earned likes for their content. Because if they can get them to do that and claim the likes and like understand that they just made money for their content, then his idea or his plan is essentially to onboard the creators at that juncture to be like, now you can sign up so that no one can hunt your videos, but rather your videos will all automatically be posted from TikTok and you'll make the hunt fee as well. So that's kind of like his idea to like follow creators onto Farcaster. My biggest takeaway is that I think this is one of the better strategies I've seen for trying to get video content on Farcaster. I think trying to get people just to organically post in a new place or get new net new creators is a really difficult ask, as we've seen, because the Farcaster team pushed it pretty heavily and it still didn't really move the needle in terms of like getting new people, with a few exceptions, to come and post vertical video here. So I'm excited to see what happens there. I also personally have like run across TikToks that I thought were relevant to Farcaster, and I have posted them to the feed. In fact, doing that like a month ago, Yarrow first reached out to me when I posted a TikTok on the feed, and he was like, "Hey, watch this space, because you'll be able to earn money for this in the future." And that's how it kind of came onto my radar. But anyway, all that to say, really cool product, and we see a lot of overlap with what we're trying to do with Betterment in terms of like building new scaffolding for creators to earn from their creativity that's already being expended. Like, they're already making the thing, so how can we help them get paid for those efforts in new ways? So that's pretty interesting. And one of the interesting things about the meeting was that he actually came up with a new mode idea for the Betterment app that we hadn't even really considered before, which I don't want to share too much, but I'll just say that, like,
I was hoping for some alpha on this part.
Well, yeah, I can still get it'll still be alpha, but he basically just said, like, why does the first action that happens in Betterment have to be an on-chain action? Like, does it have to be a mint? Does it have to be buying a Zora coin, or could it just be some other off-chain activity, like, for example, amplifying it from TikTok's post as before you do the spin? So I'll leave you with that, but we're cooking something, so it'll be fun.
Cool. Very interesting. All right. Yeah, I think it's a worthy experiment. I've found a few things that I've reposted on Farcaster. I don't do it often because I don't spend that much time on TikTok. But yeah, I agree. There's times where there's just something funny or just something crypto relevant that caught my eye that it makes sense to.
Or ideally something not crypto relevant, but to a crypto audience, it's crypto relevant.
Yeah, exactly. Things like that. Yeah. Yes, exactly. All right, moving on. In other builder news, we have this. Recess.fun is another new one. This is a game platform that I wasn't familiar with. I was familiar with some of the games, but I didn't realize they had created a whole mini app with all of the games in there now. And this relates to the Recess token that officially launched, but it's a whole game platform. So go check that out. If you've played Digits, that is one of the games that's built into Recess. So Digits is
same team as well, or I'm assuming?
Yeah, same game, same team. Yeah.
I'm not trying to brag, but I bought the Pico top of Recess, so not.
Oh, did you? Good for you.
So
You're so
copy
good
trade, like copy trade Toady Hawk if you want to lose half your money.
It's a fantastic way to live.
But it's early. It's early, and if they build a platform with any traction, it could be an interesting one.
So it's actually a pretty good game platform. Digits makes my head spin. It's like, how fast can you do math? It's just not a game I want to play almost ever.
You're like, how fast can you do math? And Prof's like, no,
not very. I'm out. This is not fun. But it's a good educational game, so it might be useful. This from Bricks Bounty. This was a really useful take on like an explainer. So this from Bricks Bounty. Okay, take two. Clanker V4 liquidity. As I casted literally into the void this AM, decided to rewrite since thought more folks would benefit from understanding pool mechanics. Hope Dish will correct me if I'm incorrect. The way the LP is set up for likes, so looking specifically at likes in the way that they have done some of the lock and things like that, is there are 5 pools which unlock as the market cap rises. 10% at launch, 50% at 130K, 15% at 450K, 20% at 50 million, 5% at 500 million. 2 notes. This will tend to push tokens that are sold to the 450K range pretty quick. Solid, sorry.
If they're sold, they'll go the opposite direction.
Yes, that are solid to the 450K range pretty quick as the available liquidity starts shallow. Once above 450K market cap, liquidity shown on DEX or Gecko includes 25% still salted away. So for likes, the active...
It might be a farmer term.
Might be. The active LP is currently 8.63 billion likes, 225K, and 309K WETH. This functionality overstates the available liquidity at a glance, yet shows the depth that will get added when a token really cranks or clanks.
Surely clanks, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're just going to rewrite this a little bit.
Come on, Brick.
Say if a token match banker or clankers run. Think this is a great strategy long-term for encouraging size trades on DEX for the most successful tokens, as liquidity will be thick when tokens reach 50 million and 500 million. There's also a variable fee function that increases the swap fee during times of greatest volatility, capturing fees for the token launcher. Also should be noted if a team that clanks sets aside a percentage of the supply at launch or completes a dev buy, these would further reduce circulating supply. Would love a way for these situations to be easily noted looking at a token. That's a good point.
Amen to that, because we struggle with that with betr, because we basically have 50% of the supply set aside from day one for community, and there's really no way in the Clanker interface to let people know that, so that Dex Screener and these other places would pick it up, and probably never will, because it's immutable contracts. But it would have been nice if we could have had that marked somewhere, that there was a dev buy and that there was a community vault, so that people understood. Because right now, I mean, our effective market cap is like basically 2.5 times less than what it actually is because of the circulating supply. But at a glance, you can't really tell that.
I think that would, yeah, that's a great point, because I think the only place you could see that is if you went to clanker.world, right? I think.
Even then, no, you literally would have to be plugged into the project and listening to the founders to understand what's happened with the token. So it's,
I guess it doesn't say it on there. I think I'm thinking about that from the admin side. So maybe it isn't apparent. So yeah, that would be something that would be useful to have that be a little more clear.
One thing I noticed about Brix's post is that's quite a jump from 450,000 to like, what was it, 50 mil? It's like, I love that no man's land, and the implication that once you get past 450,000, 50 million is the next step on the road, boys.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love it. And I also love the bullishness. I love the bullishness of like thinking about a lot of these clankers being at 50 million and 500 million market cap in the near future.
Wouldn't that be lovely?
Send it. Send it. Looks good. Send it.
Sounds good to me. All right, let's talk about betr. We have some things to talk about here. Sure. You wrote a post today that made my life a little bit easier.
That's actually not me.
Oh, it wasn't you? No. Who wrote that?
No, are you talking about the betr news?
No, yeah. Who wrote that?
Oh, well, hey, let me break some news for you, Proc, because I know you can't keep track of everything that's happening on Farcaster.
I literally can't.
This is a new feature of the Warplet that just dropped overnight, and it's basically a news feed on every token. So go and look at the betr token on Farcaster.
When did that happen?
Literally overnight.
See that?
It happened last night. Yeah.
Did anybody post about it? I don't think anyone
I did.
posted about it besides you.
Looking at my post.
From the team. Like I didn't see like Dan or V or even Horsefax. Like
I don't even think it's been maybe not even fully announced yet, but it's basically like an AI summary of everything that's happening for the token. So what you're seeing here is like AI scraping, frankly, mostly my posts about the token, but it is really cool as an aggregator, because guess what? Not everybody, this is going to be surprising for you, Prof. Not everybody is terminally on chain. Some people have jobs.
Not everyone just spends their whole day looking at Farcaster, and even
I don't know why. I don't know why, but
that's so funny.
Apparently that's true. And so yeah, this is a great opportunity for people to come in. So let's see what's happening on my token. I think it's a huge ship, great leverage of AI, because it does usually a pretty good job of scraping and figuring out. It's basically like Apple Intelligence for tokens, except good.
So I'm assuming Sloke was working on this, and Sloke, I did not check Sloke's account, but I don't think he posted about it anyway.
I saw Div post about it yesterday, and I was like, what the heck? And then I went and checked, and it wasn't there. And I'm like, am I going crazy? And then V actually.
This might have been the beta testing. Yeah, they were testing it.
But I'm in the beta test, but I didn't see it. But then Varun replied to me and said, we had to take it down to fix something, and it's coming back up. And then by this morning, it was back up live. So, I mean, we can definitely talk about these things, but I just want
to
mention that they
that's
AI
fantastic. Yeah. So thank you for breaking news to me.
Yeah.
Which is unusual.
I take my co-hosting responsibilities very seriously.
I appreciate it. You probably brought things to the table today. So this is very cool. So this is the AI aggregated news about betr. So top betr news, which I was like, wow, it looked just like this. now that makes sense. It looked like this.
Yeah. Well, that sure. Exactly.
So I had this ready to go.
I guess what we're saying is that Toady Hawk can be replaced by AI within the next 6 months.
But not quite yet. Because you had like so much going on. So it must have picked up a lot of this stuff, is what I'm seeing. As well as like other things that people are talking about. I'm guessing the numbers, though, it may have picked up from other casts, like some of these numbers about like 200 people co-building, or even picking it up from the apps itself. So that is pretty cool. This is probably coming directly from the token in terms of staking has been live for 17 days. I'm not sure. Maybe
I made a cast about that. So I think it's primarily pulling stuff from
casts,
from key accounts that are talking about it. Or I guess you can see that most of these have the cash tag in them. So I think they're probably pulling from casts that have
when people are putting,
most likely.
Yeah, that's probably a cash tag. Nice.
That's what they're called, I think.
I think they are now.
No, I didn't make it up. I wish I did, but I didn't.
And I'm gonna just pull this one because this is a little easier to read on screen. So this is few different things. So do you want to just really quick level set in case we have anyone who doesn't know what betr is? What is betr? We've done this before, but just really quick, what is betr, and like what are the new things you guys have implemented in the past couple weeks?
Why did you take away my crib notes? Now
I know. I'll put them back up. I'll put them back up.
No, I'm just kidding. So actually that post was a question from Raven 50mm, who was asking, sort of saying, I see you guys all over the timeline. I think you're building awesome stuff. I hear creators saying that they're getting paid on Betterment, but what the hell is Betterment? And so I tried to just write, one cast. It's a long cast, but hey, I'm paying for Farcaster Pro, so I gotta get some money back for it. Get my value out of my money. So I did a post that just kind of tries to explain exactly what Betterment is, and there is a lot of moving parts. But basically, Betterment is a mini app, one of the most popular mini apps on Farcaster and TBA. We've been in the top 15, I think, now for 2 months. We've been sort of battling back and forth for the top spot with the new Rips app. But yeah,
you guys have been battling in the past couple of weeks. It's been funny.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's very top ranked, popular mini app, and the concept is very simple. It's basically like, how can we use a little bit of a dopamine rush to gamify the experience of collecting on-chain content? Because the reality is that nobody is collecting on-chain content the way they used to in 2021, 2022, 2023, even to some extent. There was a time where artists could put out an open edition and they could be assured that it would mint out 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 copies. And, they'd gain new fans, they'd make money to pay their bills. And that time has basically sadly passed. And so the idea for Betterment was like, what if we could sort of find new ways to incentivize people to show up in an app 3 times a week, collect some on-chain content, support a creator, and then spin a neon wheel and get a little dopamine rush and have a variable reward there as a little bit of a carrot to get them in the app. And it works. I mean, we have prize pools of $1,500 3 times a week at least, on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 3 p.m. EST. I don't know what that is Poland time, but maybe Jacek can let us know.
Sorry, Jacek.
When people jump into the app, there's a notification. They jump in, and it's kind of like this rush to collect the additions before the pool runs out, essentially. And we've done multiple things over the past few months to try to lengthen the games, because we want as many people as possible to be able to participate. And even still, the games typically don't last much longer than 12, 13, maybe 15 minutes. Anyone who holds 50 million minutes. Yeah, well,
I haven't seen it last that long.
Well, I mean, I'm counting the better
12-second ones. That's for sure.
I'm counting the 10 minutes. So it's open for 10 minutes for early access to everyone who holds 50 million betr. And basically, you're guaranteed to spin if you're in that group. So the first 10 minutes, usually like about half of them will go, and then it goes public, where basically anybody can participate, and then it usually ends very quickly in a few minutes. So you have to be paying attention. But yeah, it creates this moment for creators that they haven't really seen since 2021. And if they're new to the space, they've never seen it ever, where like a bunch of people rush in to collect their content, and all of a sudden, they've got all these new collectors. Their notifications are going crazy from the app, and they made $500-600 in real creator rewards. They don't have to wait for volume payments from any other platform. They just get creator rewards, half in ETH, half in betr for having been featured on the app. So that's kind of how it works for the actual people playing. It's just, you're logging in, you're collecting something fun. It could be a Zora coin in some cases. It can be a paragraph coin, or it can be an NFT. And then you're spinning that wheel and potentially getting a reward. And it's fun.
It is fun. And also you added some staking options. So I want to also talk a little bit about sort of the tokenomics of what you're doing, because you're making some very smart moves to get people to hold. One being offering those, special bonuses or benefits to those holding 50 million betr or more, which includes the chat where you get early access to spin, but it also includes like poker games that are some of them are just for those who are holding 50 million betr, or some are for those who are staking. So talk a little bit about, because then that's the other part, is adding the staking option where people are putting that 50 million or however much into the staking app and then earning some yield back for doing so. So talk a little bit about those choices.
Okay, so first and foremost, I want to say that the number one thing you can do to make people hold your token is to have a token that doesn't suck. And have a project that people are interested in.
That's true.
And they want to hold. All these things are meme coins. Like a lot of people, they sort of recoil at the idea of a meme coin, but like Betterment is a meme coin, but that doesn't mean it's a project coin, but that doesn't mean it can't have utility and a reason to exist as well. And so we've kind of like, since the beginning, NetNose and I have tried to think of interesting ways to use the token. We didn't want to use it as like a token gate, for example, which might have been the most simple and easy way to implement it in the app. But then it's like, you're trying to get your app to go viral, and the very first thing you're telling people is, nope, not yet, go buy this token to even try it. So that was kind of a non-starter for us. And so the Better Believers tier was kind of like a compromise, where we were like, this is a way that we can, reward people who do believe early on, and give them some extra perks. And those extra perks ended up being more and more valuable as time went on, and the app became more popular. And as we just talked about, like, basically you're guaranteed to get your spins in if you're a member of the 50 million or higher group. And if you're not, it's tough. You got to get in there and get in there fast to try to get them. So it ended up being a real benefit. And in terms of like the poker and whatnot, I mean, that's just really, I believe strongly like in community building, and that if you're going to build something worth building for the long term, you need to have a community there that cares about what you're building. And so, bringing Burr on as our CFO, Chief Fund Officer, a few months back was, I think, a good call, because she's just been helping to sort of bring people from all over the Farcaster ecosystem who are interested in what we're doing, and want to have a little bit of degen fun. They like playing free roll poker, and so that's just, again,
I assume that at some point you were playing poker and you were like, oh, I better fold, and you were like, wait, that's an idea.
I mean, like, as you know, all of my main ideas do come from puns. Yeah. I mean, if it doesn't come from a pun, we're not doing it. So that you're not far off there.
It's like, so I'm trying to design a new poker series, and I'm like, that motherfucker, it came up with such a good name for a poker game, and I can't come up with something better. And now it's making me mad, and it's really frustrating.
Sorry.
I'm like, I really like that name. Such a good name. Anyway, continue on.
Yeah, let's talk about staking. So again, staking, I want to say too, staking was not designed as a mechanism to get people to hold the token against their will. Notably, there's no lock on our staking. So there's no cooldown period. You can unstake anytime you want. The only penalty, quote unquote, is that you'll lose your karma boosts for that week, and the karma boosts go towards future airdrops of betr. So there is a little bit of a sort of disincentive, but you can do it at any time, and you can restake at any time. And yet they don't. We've started, at least not yet anyway. Not yet. We don't count any chickens that aren't hatched yet, but 17 days into staking, and we've had 30.
When you hit that 500 million level, some people might unstake. I'm just saying.
And they're welcome to. I hope they do. But 33 living on an island. No, 33 billion tokens have been staked in 17 days, which is, if you look at Deck Screener, you're going to say, oh, that's 33% of the supply because it's a typical clanker with 100 billion supply. But if you actually pay attention and know that we set aside 50% of the supply for community initiatives at the top, you actually realize that that's like 60% of the circulating supply has already been staked, which is pretty nuts, pretty crazy. Our community goes pretty hard. And the reason why they stake is because we are sharing revenue. Like we believe that like tokens can do things. You can just do things and soak in your tokens. And so with betr staking, basically you stake and you earn. You earn 10% back in betr rewards every single day. And of course, we had to keep it sort of thematic to what we're trying to do with the app. So we have a daily free spin. People were always complaining that there was nothing to do in the app on the days when we don't have a content spin. So now, no more complaining. Every single day, you can do a free spin in the yield and the staking part of the app. And what that spin does is it basically claims your rewards for that day, compounds them, restakes them, and then gives you a chance to win one of our stack pots. We got a daily staking stack pot of 1 million tokens, and then a few weekly ones of 10 million tokens, and then a big monthly one of 50 million tokens, which is about $600-700. So yeah, just gives people something a little bit fun to do, and people have been really enjoying it. Gets them into the app every day to check on their rewards and see what's going on.
Nothing feels better than staking a token you believe in. Talk about pulling all the key notes there. Yeah, Mika. And then also I'll play the one for, I can't even, 147 million betr staked and above.
Talking about,
I'm not going to read that whole thing. Yeah.
I think,
yeah.
We're doing a series right now. Burr's putting on a series called High Stakes Poker. Sorry if that's another one that we're taking from you.
Yes. Another. Yes.
And it's a series of 4 progressive tournaments where you have to be, the first one you had to be staked 5 million, and this one's 25, and the next one's 50, and the next one after that's 200. So the 200 one's going to be fun because like I used to watch a lot of like the actual high stakes poker show that used to air back in like the poker heyday of the early 2000s, and that was one of my favorite shows to just binge watch as like background noise. So I'm trying to think if maybe we can like figure out a way to live stream that 200 million.
I can help you with that.
Poker free roll. Yeah, that could be fun. We'll chat offline.
We could use poker now, and people can chat and talk. Yeah, we could do some things. Yeah, and that's one of the things. Like I said, I've been doing some little poker series, and it's been really fun because you get people actually talking and on screen, so it's a little different. Yeah, and Burr's helped with that, and it's been a lot of fun. But I love the poker games. There's a couple that you don't have to be holding any betr. You can just play on Tuesdays and Thursdays if you want to play. They're public, they're open, and it's a good way that if you are a good poker player, you could earn some betr. So there you go.
Yeah, that was to her credit. That was something that Burr was really adamant about early on too. She was like, just like you haven't token gated the app, I also don't think you should token gate the community. Because I mean, otherwise, how do people find out about it and come in and see it and figure out what's going on? And that's worked really well because basically what we did is that if you cash in a free roll tournament that she puts on, you win double prizes if you are a betr believer. So it's a little latent incentive to be in that group if you're good at poker.
And then there's a few games that are just for if you are in that chat. So that are just for the betr believers or just for the stakers. And I think it's smart. You're creating incentives for the community around the token, but also it's a marketing opportunity for the token as well and the project. So many things happening all at once. It's been very smart. The approach has been really smart. It's been fun to kind of watch it evolve over time. So love it. What else do you have coming that you want to chat about? Any other new collabs or anything that you want to mention? I know you just recently partnered with Matcha. We had talked about that a while back and I didn't get back with you, but you handled it.
Actually, the interesting thing about that is that completely separate from our conversation, they actually approached us and we're like, cool. Hey, we love what's happening on the timeline. Everyone's talking about betr all the time. Like, how can we get involved? I'm a big fan of the 0x team and Matcha and what they're doing, and they're OGs in the space. And so it's always nice when you want to talk about partners, you want partners that you can trust to promote to your audience too, because it's a big responsibility for someone like you or like me. If you're going to be like, swap now on like Homer Swap or something like this, like random decks, and then unfortunately they like rug their users a month later.
Exactly.
Like, not great, but match is not going anywhere. So yeah, it's been fun to partner with them, and they really get what Betterment's trying to do. They basically sponsored a month full of rounds where we're
perfect
commissioning artists and creators to create sort of matcha related content. Our first round was this past Tuesday. I know, Matcha Mondays. Well, we didn't get to do it on Monday because of the giant NPM scare. We decided the best thing to do was to postpone the round just because a lot of people were freaked out. Even though we knew that all of our dependencies were fine, we ended up postponing that Monday Matcha to Tuesday Matcha. And we had a beautiful piece that was commissioned by Kimmy Duke. If you don't know her, amazing artist.
Love her.
And she was able to earn, $400 in ETH. Plus we actually rounded up her betr rewards to 50 million, so she could join.
Oh, perfect.
So almost $1,000 in rewards for her piece being featured in one round of Betterment, which was pretty awesome. And excited to collab with Matcha for a few more weeks now. We're also working on integrations with Matcha, which I won't say too much about, but you'll be able to do some interesting questing and swapping in the app via the Matcha's official API soon. So that's exciting.
Love it. Love it. Love it.
I don't want to run you too long on your show with all the different collabs that we have going on, but maybe I can just list them off because there are a lot that we've got coming up.
Let us know.
We are cooking with Rips. So I reached out to Rips when I saw their app. Super clean. Like if you haven't checked it out, really cool.
Very cool. We talked about it the other day. Yeah, it's really nice. Well done.
You're ripping packs. Like I came into this space on Top Shot. That was one of the first things that I checked out in this space back in 2021. And this kind of has that vibe. It's like Meme Coins meets Top Shot. Really cool, really slick. The founders are really goated, and they come from a long career in consumer, not even consumer crypto, but like just consumer apps generally, and you can tell. So we had a call yesterday, and they're like, let's collab. So we got something cooking there. I don't want to say too much, but basically they're going to be introducing a new type of pack, and betr is going to be one of the first to help with that. We've got a collab with Ponder coming up that's going to be involving some artist commissions. So that's going to be super fun coming towards the end of this month. Right after that, in early October, we've got a collab with DAU. That's going to be really fun. We have a collab with Likes, which we talked about earlier from TikTok. We're going to be helping them with their launch next week. We have what else? We're currently doing a little promo with Scoreline, which is a mini app where you can bet on football or soccer matches, and they just permissionlessly bought some betr and put it into a prize pool for people to go and check out. So if you're into that kind of thing, go check out Scoreline. We are collaborating with CoBuild. I don't know if you know the CoBuild app. But we jumped on that train early on because I think it's really cool what Rocketman's building. Essentially, it's like an inverse noise that can still be used in collaboration with noise. Like you can still tip normally with noise, but you can also set it up so that people, when they interact with your posts, are actually buying your favorite token. And we were the first to take a test drive of their new reward streams. Which actually uses his previous tech that he built for his previous project, Flows.
Okay, so this is the Flows thing that they're connecting. Okay, so
what I did is I put betr into a contract
on that. I was getting confused, a little confused as what was going on with the Flows thing, because I did see the team one, and he talked about that. We had him on 2 weeks ago, I think.
Oh, nice. I missed that.
And he talked all about CoBuild, and he mentioned that the team's part was coming, and then the next week it launched, I think, or this week. So that was really cool. So with CoBuild, you're buying, instead of just liking and giving a tip, you're actually buying that person's designated token. And at first that was, your own creator token or what have you. And now you can designate, betr. And then there's sort of this way that they're bringing that all together, and you can see it as a team working, which is very cool. But the Flows thing, I'm trying to understand exactly what's happening there. Like I remember Flows from Nouns as a grant program, but how is it working with this particular configuration?
Basically projects can put, they can deposit some of their tokens. So in our case, we took some $betr, we put it into the contract. I think we put I can't remember, 100 million, maybe 100 million better into the contract for 1 month. And essentially that just like kicks off a stream that gives a daily rewards to everybody who sets betr as their co-build token.
Cool.
Before they even introduced this, we already were one of the top teams on there. I think we had 150 people who had already just willingly, permissionlessly set betr as their token, which was pretty cool. And now it's grown to like 250, and I think that has resulted in over $300 in buys on the token over the past week or so.
Cool.
Really cool, really bullish. And I know Rocket Man's also iterating on some other things that he wants us to try out. I don't know how much I'm allowed to say, but I guess suffice to say that the same pool that you put on your team's contract can be used to incentivize other behavior in the feed potentially. So that's all I'll say. And we're going to be, we're going to be
interesting. Yeah, Rocket Man, if you aren't familiar with him, very just crack dev, like totally just, and so it was a very easy. That was one of those ones that like, as soon as I saw it was him, I was like, oh, okay, I'm in. Let me try this out. Like it was a no brainer. And we had him on like that same week that he put that out there for On-Chain Summit. And
I just love all these things that are triggered. But the things that are just triggered by things in the feed are so interesting. So like crypto native, something that you can't do anywhere else. And so that's why I think those are really fun experiments to run. Like right now, if I interact with people on Farcaster, and I do, I spend way too much time there. But when I interact, people are getting tipped via Nice. They're getting betr from me via Noise. They're getting USDC from me via Tippin. They're getting, whatever the Tippin. If I'm adding a tip there, they're getting maybe Reply or some other token. Through Tippin. And now I'm also buying their token of choice via co-build, and it like might sound crazy to someone from outside, but I love it. It's just like it's a great way. It's a great way that I can kind of support people without even having to think about it in the app, in the feed.
And the co-build one is just really cool because you're buying the token, so you're also getting a benefit. They're getting a benefit. It's like a total win-win, as opposed to feeling like I'm just giving away all my money. Like some of that's good too, but it's like I didn't need if it was just that, it's like I don't need another one of those. But
and I think they work better for projects.
Is really creative. Yeah, it's just a really good approach to me.
I think they work really well for projects, and hopefully projects are starting to learn, and I think they are, that it's a no-brainer to put aside as much of the supply of your token as you can when you launch. We did 50% when we launched. Honestly, almost wish we could have done more. 50% was the max that you could do on Clanker at the time. In fact, 30% was the max at the time. And we did an out-of-pocket dev.
You did the buy. Yeah. It's still the same, I think. I think it's still that.
No, you can get higher now, I think, to 60
higher?
or something.
Okay.
But even like DAU, when they launched, they used their own contracts. I think they partitioned like 80% or something crazy. But anyway, the point is like, this is like the Wild West where you can like create money out of thin air, and you have to be like purposeful and intentional about how you use it. But don't shoot yourself in the foot by not doing that. And then like these types of things are great for projects. You can use Noise, you can use Betterment, you can use Warp Slot, you can use Banker to do airdrops, and just like collaborate with other projects and use your token as a way to get distribution via distribution, meaning like eyeballs. But also micro token distribution, getting your token into new wallets that will check out what you're building. And that's what co-build and all these other apps are really great for. I think the jury's out a little bit on like how individuals can use these types of things. I know they are using them.
It does. It works.
But it's out of your pocket, right? So it's better if you have like a creator coin. It's actually an argument in favor of like having some kind of a coin that you identify with, because then you can actually get that return or what have you back by setting your what's your token, Prof Witter?
Nounish Prof. Yeah, I have a Nounish Prof token, and then I just switched my co-build one to the extra token for the rest of the semester. So
a lot of people had their Zora tokens, for example, as their co-build, and then they realized, well, I'm not really a creator, I'm more of just a lurker, so like let me just set this to betr, because then I'm like part of a team. It's fun. It's something I believe in. And I think that's why we've had such success with people checking that out. And I'll leave this by saying, like, if you are running a project and you're not using co-build yet, get on there. Recommends, really goated. So far, betr is the only one that's really been leveraging the platform. And like, as much as I don't want the competition, a rising tide.
Or you can just set your token to betr. There you go.
You can do that too, but I'd love to see other projects, because I think projects is what will actually lead the growth for him on this. So I mean,
I think so too.
If like front ends listening to this or any other project that has these tokens, give it a try. Use the new streaming feature and just see what it does for your community.
Yeah, and I agree with and you had done a collab with Tippin. That was really fun, and being able to sort of give out betr to others. And now they're doing that with Reply. Noise is another one where you can get your token in other people's hands just by liking. So there's a lot of great approaches right now to distribution, and distribution is marketing, right? Distribution rules everything around me. But it's marketing as well when you're doing these things. If you have a project, because you're dropping that, they're going to look through their wallet activity and go, wait, what am I getting? What is this token? And
I talked with Dish about this yesterday. I don't know if you remember seeing that, but like how airdrops get a really bad rap, because a lot of people remember most of these like like fire spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks airdrops from 2021, where there was no curation. It was mostly farmed. But now, like,
it was mostly grinding in a Discord to get on a whitelist. Like, that was what it was. So it was, everyone was grinding to get this airdrop that they were immediately going to dump. So it was,
now in the year of our Lord 2025, you have all these interesting tools to be able to choose ways to distribute your tokens. So don't let them go to waste. Instead of doing a giant airdrop, you can distribute these tokens to people that are more likely to be interested in your project by using these Farcaster native protocols to help distribute them out to interesting people. It's worked for us so far.
Yeah,
and I think
I agree.
For other projects.
The other tool that's out there, I don't know, I don't think you've played around with this, but I played around with it a little bit, is Empire. And that's another interesting one where you can do airdrops right within that app to your top holders. You can do burns. You can do a lot of things within that app. You can.
Yeah, your Berserker is a big supporter of the betr community. So we love Empire.
Yeah. So it's another great tool. There's so many cool things so many cool Legos that people are building. For projects to be able to tap into, and
we get to just go and play Lego all day,
just play Legos all day long. All day long. What could be better? And on that note, what a great way to end. So this has been a great chat. Thank you for co-hosting with me today. I appreciate you for being here. I will see you in Vermont on Sunday.
I'll see you soon.
So, I'll see you soon.
By the way, keep your eyes peeled for these. By the way, we're working with minted merch. You probably saw my stream yesterday. I had a nice hoodie. So we got some hoodies and hats.
Everybody saw the hoodie on Monday. If they were watching Burr on here, she was showing the back as well. The Wen hiding underneath the hood. So we need the hoodies, we need the hats, we need all the betr merch, please.
Coming soon.
Minted merch. I'm looking for you at.
We got some stickers too that my friends at Luminode helped us make some pretty awesome stickers, neon stickers that will only be available at Basecamp. So if you see me, you want one. How to them.
Need a few, please. Awesome. Thank you, please, and thank you. All right, everyone. That is it for us. Thank you so much. I will not be back next week because I will be at Basecamp, and I'm taking the whole week off. We'll be back the Wednesday after. So Wednesday, the 24th, I'll be back on with guest co-host. I believe Burr is returning. So that'll be another.
Are you even going to be home by then? Are you leaving Tuesday?
No. The following Wednesday. I'm leaving Tuesday, but also the following Wednesday. So next week we're completely off. We'll be back on Wednesday, the 24th, and then Adrienne's back on Friday, the 26th, and we'll be celebrating our 2-year anniversary then. Nice. Technically, it's tomorrow though. So 2 years of GM Farcaster tomorrow. Isn't that crazy?
Give you 2 years. I know how hard it is to do a show for 2 years, and it's not easy. So
you of all people know. So we're excited for that, but we won't celebrate until Adrienne's back. So,
I thought you were like, we won't celebrate until, we make it. Cause who knows what could happen.
That too. But we won't celebrate just till Adrienne's back, and then we'll celebrate the 2 years, and we'll have some other really fun announcements then. Tony, if you want to hang out for a minute after I do the closing, I'll fill you in on some alpha. And with that, everybody, we'll see you later. Have a great week. Those I'm going to see you at Basecamp. Can't wait. And until then, bye-bye.